Let's begin with the scene passage for comprehension, Shalu and the environment. It is our lesson 4 from course book Sunbeams. Students, firstly, what is a scene passage? As we are going to discuss scene passage today, you have already done it in your previous class also. But what exactly is a scene passage? Passage that you have already seen. That is a scene passage. For example, the chapter from which the scene passage is going to come has already been told to you. That means you have seen that passage already. So that is why that passage from which you have to answer the questions is called a scene passage. It is very important to read the chapter thoroughly. Basically, you have to read the passage that is given to you thoroughly. That is, you have to read it twice or thrice till you understand it well. The next thing that scene passage has is some questions. You have to solve variety of questions, but the answers should be from the given passage. Now, here are some points which you have to keep in your mind while solving a scene passage. First thing is that you have to read the passage carefully twice. That means 2 times before reading the questions. Whenever you'll get a passage, you will go through each and every word, you will go through the lines, you will understand that passage, and after that you will move on to your questions. Then when you will read the questions, you will try to find out the same sentences from the passage or the same lines from the passage. Then if the question is fill in the blanks, then you will find out what is missing from the sentence. Where there is a blank, the part of that sentence is missing. Then from the line you have selected from the passage, you will find out that word, and very carefully you will write that spelling in your blank. Also, if the question is state true, false, or write whether the statement is true or false, then you will look for the part of the question which is different from the sentence. For example, if there is a sentence given and some part of it is different in the question given, that means your sentence is going to be false. But if both the statements of the sentence from the passage and the sentence in the question are same, then your answer will be true. Now, whenever you'll try to fill in the answers, please check the spellings again and copy the spellings correctly from the passage. The next thing that you have to keep in mind is to check the punctuation. You already know what punctuation is. That when a sentence begins with a capital letter, ends with a full stop, these 2 things are a part of punctuation. You have to keep in mind that you have to be very careful while putting a full stop and the capital letter in the answer sentence. The other important thing that you have to keep in mind is to find out the correct opposites from the given passage. For example, if the word in your question to find the opposite or to give the opposite is ugly, everyone knows that the opposite of ugly is beautiful. But if beautiful word is not given in your passage, then what will you write? Then you will find a word in the passage which is having same meaning like beautiful. For example, if there is written in the passage word pretty, then for your answer, you will write pretty. Ugly, pretty is going to be your answer. I'll give you one more example. For example, the question given is big and you have to find the opposite of big from the passage. Everyone knows that the opposite of big is small. But if small word is not written in the passage, you will not write your answer small. You will find out the word which is having same meaning like small. Maybe in the passage there can be a word called tiny. So you can write big and tiny is your answer. So for big you will write tiny and that is going to be your answer for this. I hope this is clear to everyone. The next one is types of questions. What type of questions are going to come in your exam? Firstly, the questions which are going to come in your exam are MCQ. MCQ means multiple choice question. Multiple means many. Choice means you have options from which you have to choose the right answer. And the question form is given. So now there will be a question which has many choices and you have to tick the right answer. There can be 3 options, there can be 4 options and you have to choose the right answer. It is very much similar to your question, tick the correct option or tick the right answer. The next question is fill in the blanks. You have to look for the sentence, the same sentence which is given in your question. You have to look for that sentence in your passage. Then you will look for the missing word and you will write the spellings correctly, finding it from the passage, and you will be filling it in your blank. I hope this is now clear to everyone how you have to locate that answer from the passage. Next is state true false. You have to tell whether the sentence given in the question is right or whether it is wrong. Students, please don't write T for true, F for false or tick for true and cross for false. You will not be given any marks if you'll write like this. You have to write the full word true, that is T-R-U-E, true, and the full word false, F-A-L-S-E, false. And don't get confused with the spellings because that is already mentioned in the question. The next is find the opposites. Now you have to find the opposites from the given passage which I have just explained. You have to look for the word that is the opposite of what is given in the question. But that answer should be strictly from the given passage. The next question is complete the sentences. Now, here you have to give the answers on your own because these are kind of thinking questions. Earlier you used to write the question and you have to give the whole answer, but this time here you just have to complete that sentence and this is your thinking question. Now it's time to solve one passage together. Firstly, let's read the passage. The question that is going to come is like this. Read the given passage carefully and answer the questions that follow. This means you have to read the given passage very carefully and there will be some questions after the passage that you have to answer. So let's begin with the reading. Shalu begins to think and says, "And what about the smoke and the dust under my bed?" T2 replies, "The environment is everywhere you look. The environment is the air, the water, the soil, and our food. It's everything around us. The environment can help us become strong and healthy. But sometimes, when the environment is dirty, it can make us sick. Now, as I have told you that you have to read the passage twice, let's read it once again. Shalu begins to think and says, "And what about the smoke and the dust under my bed?" T2 replies, "The environment is everywhere you look. The environment is the air, the water, the soil, and our food. It's everything around us. The environment can help us become strong and healthy. But sometimes, when the environment is dirty, it can make us sick." I hope the reading of the passage is now clear to everyone. Let's move to the first question. Now, the first question here is, tick the correct answer. So the first point, that is the first question under tick the correct answer is, how can the environment help us? So children, now this is your MCQ question. That means a question is given and some options, some choices are given to you and you have to tick the correct answer. So let's go and read first, how can the environment help us? The environment help us to make us lazy, to make us healthy and strong, to make us bad. So, to find out its answer, let's go to the passage and read once again and find out the line first, the sentence first, where it is written, the environment help us. So, let's find out from the passage first. In the passage, the sentences are like this. The environment is the air, the water, the soil, and our food. It's everything around us. The environment can help us become strong and healthy. So yes, here is our answer, that environments help us to become strong and healthy. So now you will tick the B option, to make us healthy and strong. You'll just put a tick to this answer, to this point, and your first question, first part is over. The next part of the question is, where was the smoke and dust? The smoke and dust was under the table, under the chair, or under the bed. To look for the answer, we'll again go back to the passage and read these lines where smoke and dust is written. The lines here are like this. Shalu begins to think and says, "And what about the smoke and dust under my bed?" T2 replies, "The environment is everywhere you look." Yes, so now Shalu is saying that the smoke and dust is under her bed. So under the bed is the correct answer. So now you will put a tick in front of the part C of this question where it is written under the bed, as it is our correct answer. So you will put a tick in front of it. Now let's move to the next question. The question is, fill in the blanks. So the point is, the environment is dash where you look. Now I will go back again to the passage and look for this same sentence. In the first paragraph, I am finding the sentence in the last line where it is written, the environment is everywhere you look. So the word every is only missing in the sentence, and every here is the answer. The next blank is, the dirty environment can make us dash. Now I will again move back to the passage and try to find out the line, the sentence where environment is dirty is written. So in the second paragraph, in the last line it is written, but sometimes when the environment is dirty, it can make us sick. So yes, the word sick is missing here and this is the correct answer. Now here are the answers to the blanks. The environment is everywhere you look. And the next one is the dirty environment can make us sick. So here are your answers. You have just found out the words from the passage which are missing in the blanks but present in the passage. I hope this is clear to everyone. Moving further is our third question, which is state true or false. Here the first sentence is the environment is everything around us. And the next one is there is smoke and dust under T2's bed. So let's go back to the passage and find out their answers. Let's read the second paragraph first, and the line here is the environment is the air, the water, the soil and our food. It's everything around us. This means that environment is everything around us. So yes, this is a true sentence and we will be writing true in our first blank because environment is everything around us and the exact line is seen in the passage given. For the next point, let's read the first paragraph, first line. Shalu begins to think and says, and what about the smoke and the dust under my bed? Here, under my bed means that it is Shalu's bed, not T2's bed. So the sentence, what is given in our question, is a false statement. So you will write false in the next blank. So the environment is everything around us and it is true. And there is smoke and dust under T2's bed. It is false because dust and smoke was under Shalu's bed. Let's move to the next question, and this is a very interesting one. So question 4 here is find the opposites from the given passage. Yes, you have to find out the opposites, but its answers should be the words present in the given passage, and those words should also be the opposite to these words asked in the question. So first one is finishes. So let's begin with the reading first and finding out what can be the opposite of finishes. The first sentence in the passage is Shalu begins to think. Shalu begins to think means Shalu starts to think. So the opposite of finishes is begins. The next word is above. So above means something higher, something that is placed higher, somebody is standing higher, something higher. So let's find out its opposite from the passage. Let's read the further lines. They are Shalu begins to think and says, and what about the smoke and the dust under my bed? Under means something down. So if above means something at the top, then under means something at the bottom, something below. So now under here is the opposite of above. The next word is nothing. Nothing means I have nothing, nothing at all. So now let's find out its opposite. Let's read with the second paragraph. The environment is the air, the water, the soil and our food. It's everything around us. So now the opposite of nothing is everything. The next word is weak. So now weak means a person is very fragile, very delicate. So the opposite of it can be strong, healthy, anything like that. But we have to find it out in the passage. So let's read the further lines. The environment can help us become strong and healthy. See, children, both the words strong and healthy are given. So now weak means kamzor, very delicate, and strong means very brave, very bold. So the opposite of weak will be strong, and the next is ill or sick. If a person is sick, that means bimar. If person is not sick, that means a person is healthy. So the opposite of weak is strong and sick is healthy. It can be ill also. Sick and ill means one thing, and the opposite of them is healthy. Let's read the next lines. But sometimes when the environment is dirty, it can make us sick. So the next question is the opposite of clean, and that is going to be dirty. I hope this is now clear to everyone that how you have to read and understand each and every word from the passage, from the given passage, and you have to locate and find out the opposites from the given passage. So here are the answers for the opposites. Finishes, begins, above, under, nothing, everything, weak, strong, ill or sick, healthy, clean, dirty. Let's move to the next question. That is your question 5. Complete the given sentences. These are your thinking questions. So now you have to think about the answers and you have to write it on your own. I am going to discuss them with some of the example answers, and you can write whichever you feel is right and whatever comes to your mind. So the first question here is, we should not cut trees because. Why should we not cut trees? We should not cut trees because they give us oxygen, they give us medicines. You can write variety of answers, right? So you can write whatever you feel that why you should not cut trees. What do you think that we should not cut trees because? You can write your own answers. The next one is, we can save the environment by. So now what do you think? How can we save the environment? We can save the environment by throwing waste in the garbage, by not wasting paper, by not using plastic bags. You can write any answer what you feel like. How can we save environment? It is your own answer. It is your thinking question. So you can write your own answers. But please be very careful about the spellings that you are writing. Students, just to make a little convenient for you all, I have written some example answers or some sample answers. You can write these answers also. You can write the answers that is there in your mind. And here, the answer what I have written is, we should not cut trees because they give us oxygen. And the next one is, we can save the environment by planting trees. So you can give your own answers, whatever thoughts and ideas are there in your mind. I hope you have enjoyed solving scene passage along with me and have understood the way, the method, the points, what we have to keep in mind while solving the scene passage. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.